be a problem.
Yeah.
And we've got we've got West Ham, we've got Brighton, we've got Burnley.
Yeah. No, fair play.
We've got a good run, and from the performance of last week, I think it's worth considering. Okay, I think Kane's 10.5.
Yeah,
is he worth 10.5?
Yeah,
he wasn't last season, but he could shine this season.
I genuinely think you're right, but I think after the Man U game is when I'll be looking at you. I think your next two games, not convinced. Okay, guys, let's get on to probably what is the mouth-watering fixture of the weekend. Manchester City versus Leicester. Who's had a look at this? Sean, I believe you were all over this game.
Yeah, I think I should say this is a real tasty one. It's going to be game of the weekend, and hopefully you get a lot of goals to back that up, right? It's a really difficult one to call, but I think in recent years, although Leicester have been playing well, I think City generally dominate them, and they find them a very hard team to beat. What I would say is, for City, though, the conundrum really is, yes, there's a lot of points up for grabs, but really, what player do you stick with, right? Do you stick with KDB? Do you stick with Sterling? I think I would try and get KDB in my team.
And you've got Harvey Barnes in your team. Do you think he's going to bring it again?
Not necessarily, no. I'm not so confident with anyone in my team at the moment, but to be honest, I don't think I would get Vardy in at the moment either. I think I would stay away from him.
Definitely not Vardy. I quite like Harvey Barnes. He looks like he's energetic and he looks fast, but he just needs to start more regularly scoring. I do think he's a player to look at this season.
He scored last weekend, didn't he?
He scored the weekend.
This weekend.
He did score, but he got one, and he got an assist. But I think what I'm saying with him is, if he can do that regularly, he'd probably be in my team. But he's 7 million, right? But then, I'm saying I've got James Ward-Prowse, who is 6 million, 5.9 now. If I can find $1 million somewhere, I think maybe, I'd take Barnes. But
yeah, I mean, how much is Zaha? He's like 7.
Zaha's 7, isn't he?
He's 7.1. Sorry,
7.1. Yeah, he's just risen. Yeah, because he's had a great start to the campaign.
And I think that's a better shot. The strange player that I currently have in my team, I don't know why I picked him in the initial week, is Ferran Torres.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's really good on the bench. He keeps it warm.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to get an opportunity, right? That's a waste of 7 million right there. I think he came on and played 9 minutes at the weekend. I don't know why he's in my team.
So, Sean, what you're saying, though, mate, is basically Leicester not going to score against City, and City's where it's at with KDB.
I think I can say 3-1 to City here.
And 3-1 to City, you'd have KDB. Moving on to probably the most boring game of the weekend, West Ham v Wolves. Fellas, good point.
Oh, yes. West Ham, much improved, as I was saying in the first half of the episode, much improved against Arsenal. I think we were unlucky, to be honest. If you watched the game, unlucky not to come away with not only a draw, but even a win. We had probably better chances in the second half. But dare I say, going on to this game against Wolves, obviously Wolves started really well. They look brilliant. Jimenez, has started the campaign very well, obviously well-known to FPL managers. Only in 20% of teams, though, Jimenez still. 8.5. Are people going to be starting to ditch Werner, like we said, get Jimenez in? That's probably not a bad shout, obviously against the Hammers as well, who are struggling defensively. But saying that, because we will take confidence from that game, so I don't think it's going to be as clear-cut as what people think. I think Antonio got on the score sheet again, 6.5. He's actually just reduced to 6.4, actually, saying that. But he's still getting on the score sheet. He's still scored. He's still going to play up front on his own. He's still going to get some chances. But the one player I want to call out is Souček, because at 5 million, a lot of people had him in the team starting the season. And he's hit the bar, I think, 2 or 3 times in the first 2 game weeks. So he's definitely getting in the right places, and he's not too bad a shout at 5 million. And
he's in my team, Pellers, and I'm thinking of getting rid of him. He's starting to really annoy me.
Yeah, but like I say, I think it's going to happen for him because he's just been so close, and he does do that box-to-box kind of midfielder. He is a defensive midfielder on the team sheet, but he gets up on those set pieces, and he's brilliant in the air. So I think he's going to get on the score sheet, and I think he at 5 million, you can't argue. You can even keep him on the bench if you like.
Sounds like you can't get it on target.
Yeah,
get the bar quite a bit.
Gonna get in the bar.
He thinks that's the rules. He thinks he gets double points.
He'd be good at the fairground. Get goldfish every time.
The other one who looks good for West Ham, I would say Bowen. Again, another one who's dropped in price because of the opening two results. So, but obviously we have to talk about Wolves. Podence, I think 5.5 million. That's a pretty good shout. 1.9% of teams, so a massive differential there, and has got two assists in 2 games. So not too bad there. So obviously Jimenez, Podence.
And Podence, he looks like a regular, right? And now that they've lost old Jota to Liverpool, who are just buying anything these days, NVD.
Salty.
Podence is a good shout, mate. I think playing on that left, like you say, he's in the starting 11. And it's the price. So, he gets forward. He's Traore. We haven't seen much of him yet. So he could be, Wolves' Traore this season, but on that left wing. And someone's got to set up the goals for Jimenez. So why not?
So Pella's got to rein it in then. You've got one player from this game. Who is it?
I think you can't ignore Jimenez. I think he's going to score. West Ham are not going to keep a clean sheet, but I think it'll be a close game. I think I can see a 1-1, maybe a 2-2 on this game, but I think Jimenez will get on the score sheet without a doubt.
I like that, Jimenez. I like Podence. I love that shout of Podence. And what are you saying about Wolves? Easy games after this as well. Fulham, Leeds, Newcastle.
It's all green. It's all green. Fulham and Leeds. Yeah, so people are going to be looking, especially anyone who's doing their Wildie, they're going to be getting in a few Wolves players. And look no further than Jimenez or Podence.
Patrick Vieira, you had a look at Fulham versus Villa for us, your beloved Fulham. Are you boys going to get some points on the board?
Yeah, this is third time's a charm, so they're going to do it on this one for sure. They, I don't know, they got to sort out their defence, but I watched Villa today, and Sheffield United went a man down in 12 minutes into the game, and they couldn't capitalise on it. They got one goal in the 63rd minute. So I'm not holding out much for Aston Villa. Fulham are at home. Mitrovic obviously is the main player there, the goal scorer, but they still got some talent in the midfield with the likes of Harrison Reed and a few others.
I like what you say about Villa. I actually agree that, with one goal against 10 players, they're going to go, surely they're going down this year. Surely they just don't look like they've got the players. Yeah,
and this will be the match that will decide.
Yeah,
that.
This is a tester. But do you think Mitrovic? Do you think Mitrovic is going to continue scoring?
Yeah, he's pretty steady. I can see him certainly getting a goal here.
If you had a choice, and I'm asking for a friend, Mitrovic or Bamford, where would you be going? That's a question for all of you boys, Mitrovic or Bamford.
I'm going to stick with Mitrovic, but it's a really good question.
I think Mitrovic, because you're going to have goals from Fulham, it will be Mitrovic. You're going to have goals from Leeds, it could come through a few different sources, right?
Yeah, I mean, a whip round, Mitrovic is on penalties and Bamford isn't. So, Pellas, you've gone Mitrovic. Vieira's gone Mitrovic. NVD?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Mitrovic.
Russ?
Yeah, same. I'd stick. I've got him on my 11, so I'd stick with him. As Pellas said, he's like if anyone's going to score, it's going to be him. Yeah, he's going to be taking the penalties. It's like hands down, and he's cheap. He's cheap as well. He's not that much.
Well, he's more than Bamford, so he's 6 million. And the reason I asked this question, and Sean's agreeing with you lads, but so everyone's saying Mitrovic here on the podcast. I was hoping you'd all say Bamford because I've got Bamford, and I know he's the wrong one to have. And I can't afford the change. Anyhow, so Patrick Vieira, thank you for that review. You're saying Fulham are going to do Villa. What do you reckon? 2-0, 3-0?
It'll be 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
And Mitrovic with a double, yeah?
Yeah, Mitrovic. I mean, their last couple of outings, Fulham have won. They've beaten Aston Villa. Yeah, it was back in 2014 and 2013, but we could still take some, hope forward from those games, right? Even though they're like six years ago.
Yeah, we always live in hope. I mean, good omens, right? Okay, moving on to the last game of the week. We're almost there, gents. It's Liverpool versus Arsenal. NVD and Captain Russ, you went together on the boat to get this one. And, obviously you put each other off. You're 8th and 9th in the league. What have you learned from going all the way to England?
It's almost like a replay from last season as well, where we were going up and down all over the place, and I pipped him at the end. But I'm going to let you do this, MVD, because you being Liverpool. But I'd like to say, I like to put my tuppence in by saying that I'm going to definitely put Mane back into my squad after removing him. But my question to MVD would be, and I think this would be a question that a lot of people would be asking, is Mane or Salah?
So for this game, I'm going to go Salah.
Right.
I think Mane was amazing against Chelsea. I think for this fixture, and it's a fixture that Salah loves scoring in, I think he's on 99 Premier League goals as well. So he's itching to get it. He's one of them who slyly, says he doesn't look at records, but I'm sure he does. And I don't know, I just got a feeling really that he's going to have a great season. I mean, he's had all his seasons to date have all been great, but I think he's just kind of on for a different one this season. I know he was quiet, but he was, he didn't score against Chelsea, but he was there. He was kind of creating. He almost got an assist for Firmino. I think he's definitely going to score. I'm actually going to go 3-1. I think Arsenal will score in this game. I still don't rate their defence. I think for those who've kept to Aubameyang, I think he's going to be on the score sheet. He'll score again against Liverpool as he did in the Charity Shield.
NVD, I was going to say, I think you're right on the Salah point. I think I saw that he did the assist of the assist in that game. He was the one that actually started that move for the Mane goal.
Yeah,
he popped it out to Firmino. He crossed it in. Thing I'm saying though, and asking, and captains asked that question is: you're going Salah this game. Is it like next game you're going to go Mane?
I think I'm pretty nailed on to Salah this season. I think that's just my feeling. I think he's going to have a great season. Maybe not akin to the 44 goals or however many he scored in his first season, but I do think he's going to have a standout season.
There's also this debate, MVD, and I'd love to get your opinion on Salah being the guy to have at home for Liverpool and then Mane to be the guy to have away. Apparently Mane, scores more goals, gets more points away from home, and then Salah's the one to have at home. Would you concur with that, or is that, or is it more you just think no, Salah's going to be his season?
I mean, I think as good as I think Mane was the better player last season. He was standout for Liverpool. I just think Salah's going to be that player this season. I think he's not got. He probably feels he doesn't get as much credit as he's due, and I think he's going to be. He's going to let that shine this season. I mean, look, you can't look past Mane, and if you're one of those that does the double up of them, which I did last season for many games, then you're potentially going to yield some benefits from that. But yeah, I'm stonewall on Salah this season.
I like that you're solid and you stuck with that, because it's a debate you could go on about like for a whole episode of this show. We could do it for the whole season actually. But I mean, Cesc Fabregas says that Mane's the best player in the Premier League. But I like that you're sticking with Salah. I think you're right. I think Mane, I'm probably going to give him a few more games until like Salah outshines him, and then I'll buy Salah when it's too late. So that's how I'm going. But one thing I'd love to ask is Arsenal. Now, talking of cheap options, I think we've got to touch on this guy, Ceballos. I'm butchering the guy's name. He's 5 million. Now, okay, he played 12 minutes against Fulham, but he played the whole 90 minutes against West Ham. He got an assist. Is he worth having? Given you've got 5 million players like Souček that Pella's called out, who's in my team, should I be looking at Ceballos at Arsenal or Saka at Arsenal?
I think like you said though, Jimmy, it depends who's going to get in the starting 11. I don't think he's going to be in the starting 11 every single game. That's the only thing. He's a class player. He's a very creative player. I'm not convinced he's going to play every game. That's the only risk there.
Okay, that's cool. All right, well, NVD, to round it out, who are you saying then? You're saying Salah's the guy to have in this game?
Yep, I think, definitely from a Liverpool perspective, Salah's the guy to have. I do think, however, Aubameyang will get on the score sheet. So if you're an Arsenal fan or you've got Aubameyang in your team, I think it's probably still worth sticking with him.
And Captain Russ, who's the player to have in this game?
Mane.
You went Mane. It must have been
I'm sticking with Mane.
You're sticking with Mane. Must have been an